Right, but anyway, yeah, indie comics and Kickstarter.
Yeah, let's just start off with that since I brought it up. Indie comics and Kickstarter. I've noticed Kickstarter getting a lot of more attention lately. I know it kind of already had some love because donating money for something you love or a comic you want to see more of or something like that. It happens, but I think with Tim Schafer's whole Double Fine Adventure thing, kind of bringing it more into the news in the past month or two, we've seen a lot more kind of people bringing it up and trying to get their project out that way. I think that's I don't know. What's your opinion on comics being funded through Kickstarter?
It's a good thing. I don't know if I can really. I can't think of any objection I would have to that.
Sometimes one thing I've heard is you gotta wonder how much of it's actually going into the comic.
Into the comic itself.
Yeah.
Well, okay. On the one hand, if it's going to support the artist anyway, like that's going into it too, because I think people sometimes underestimate how much work it is just being an artist. Like right now, I'm just trying to raise money to do the whole writing and photography thing.
Oh yeah. I'm
just
right there too.
Because it's not one of those things where because you're just in order to do that, like you're not buying materials so much. I mean, as a photographer, I have to buy materials, but just supporting yourself is just supporting the artist so that they can continue to do stuff. That's kind of what you're doing when you're doing a project like this. And I really can't say that I object to using a Kickstarter to fund a comic project.
No, I actually...
Particularly indie comics, since they don't have a nice publisher who can give them a consistent paycheck.
Exactly. I saw one today that I paid $50 towards, and their entire video is dedicated to showing why it costs as much money as it does for them to make a comic. The shipping and everything, putting it all together in one completed book with everything, it's a lot. It was like a 6-minute video, so there was a lot that goes into it, and sometimes people forget that. And I always appreciate it, and I love supporting indie comics too, just in general, which we'll get to here in a bit. But it's nice to see that some of your money, because everyone has, well, not everyone, but some people have some extra money that they can spend. And the nice thing with Kickstarter is you get extra things. It's not just the books. There's extra incentive into going into that, and you also get that feeling. I just got a book in last month. It's actually over there now. I didn't sell it here. It's like a woman anthology thing about women in comics, and when you see the final completed thing, it's really beautiful to see how much work and effort you see put into it, and just the fact that you're part of that. It makes it all the more special. So I don't know. I think it's something important, and I'm glad to see that more people are trying to fund indie comics that way, and kind of getting themselves out there, and that there's an audience out there.
Yeah.